Yes, you should use a pencil. Today is 2/6/23. So put your name at the top. It is. You need a test, Elena? Quiz. You got a quiz? All right. All right, our voices are going to stay off. If you're going to choose to talk, it's a 0. Right, Jairus? You need to move, Loki. No, we got it. Your Chromebook should also be closed, and your phone should, as always, be off and put away. Yay. Okay. Number 1A, it says, you should be following along with me. You're going to be answering these questions like it's a quiz, but I'm reading to you and trying to offer some assistance as we go through. Fair? All right, so your name is at the top. Today is either the 6th or my second and third hour, taking it tomorrow on the 7th. Number 1A, the number of windows cleaned. Y, so Y is the number of windows cleaned, varies directly. So we're talking about direct variation, which means it starts at 0 and it goes up at a constant rate, with the number of hours the cleaners worked, X. So X is the number of hours the cleaners worked. Okay, so write a direct variation equation to represent this relationship. What does a direct variation equation look like? Y equals mx. So we need to figure out what m is. Sorry, my pencil's got kind of a shadow going for it. We have to figure out what m is, so your answer is going to be in the form y equals whatever m is, x. Remember, as you're figuring out m, as you're picking this point, this is not 1 here. So this divided by this is what m is. So that's what you should be putting there for your answer. You were yawning. I'm sorry. Elena, we're not talking right now. So we're finding our direct variation. So our change in y divided by our change in x. Or when it's direct variation, it's simply y divided by x. So if we pick this point, this is the point 110, whatever y is divided by x, that's what m is equal to. So that number, don't talk to your friends either, is what we're putting in here as we're writing our answer to this 1A. Anybody need another minute on 1A? Okay. 1B says, fill in the blanks using the available answer choices. Sorry. Identify the constant of variation and interpret its meaning. So the constant of variation is right here, what you put in for m. So you have 2 options. So hopefully you picked one of those up here. Put whatever you wrote for m here. And now we're interpreting. This means that either 1 window is cleaned every 10 hours or 10 windows are cleaned per hour. You choose. Write one of those in blank 2. Thank you for being so quiet and doing your own work. All right, anybody need another minute on 1B? Excellent. 2A, the total number of scarves knitted varies directly. Remember, that means it starts at 0, goes up at a constant rate with the number of days. 4 scarves require 6 days to knit. Write a direct variation equation to represent this relationship. Express the constant of variation, remember that's m, as a decimal. So your decimal. Total number of scarves knitted varies directly with number of days. Total scarves knitted to days. Total scarves knitted to days. Total scarves knitted to days. So you're going to take your calculator and you're going to figure out what y is divided by x. Total scarves knitted per days. Question? It should not repeat a lot of numbers. You did it the wrong way if it repeats a lot of numbers. You should see what you get in part 2b. So again, you're writing a direct variation equation. Y equals something x with your, don't forget to put your m in. So if you did something and it came out repeating, do it the other way. Does that make sense? Okay. Remember, we're kind of finding the unit right here. Y'all have a calculator? Because you'll need one for this, I would guess, unless you're really, really good at division and long division, which I don't know too many of you that are. All right. Anybody need another minute with 2A? Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna use that M and 2A to figure out 2B. It says identify the constant of variation. So what did you put for M and interpret its meaning? So did you put 1.5 there, 1.5 there, 4 there, or 6 there? And then once you've narrowed it down, to one of those two, does the 1.5 mean that you did 1.5 scarves can be knitted in one day? Or does it mean that each scarf requires 1.5 days to knit? Remember, you're looking for a unit rate. We are always per one thing, right? Unit is one thing. So with that, make sure you're narrowing it down to the correct one. Does it mean that 1.5 scarves can be knit for one day? Or does it mean that each scarf required 1.5 days to knit? Makes it a little bit tricky, but think, what was on the top when you divided? Did you divide scarves by days or days by scarves? Anybody need another minute to think about that one? We're okay? All right. Moving on to number 3. That one I think was a little bit tricky. The graph of line W is shown. So using the triangles, we are going to compare the slope. So the slope of segment AB is 6/2 or third. So does it go up 6/3? Oh no, over 2. That makes sense, or 3. The slope of segment BD is 3. So up 3/1 or 3. The slope of each segment is equal to 3. I mean, that looks good to me. Or do you think it is up to over 6? Right? You deserve some peace of this. All right. Those are true. I think it's just one correct answer that you may have already gone over. Yes? The slope of each of the individual segments is not going to change, right? They should be proportional and the same. Any questions on number 3? Anybody need more time on number 3? Jess, we're doing our own work on number 3. Okay. 4. The diagram of a hill is shown. Use 2 points to determine the slope of the hill. Then verify that the slope is the same by choosing a different set of points. So use 2 points. Maybe use these 2, I don't know, and these 2, and talk about what the slope is from T to Q and what the slope is from T to R. However you want to do it. So you're finding the slope, but they want you to do it with 2 points to be sure that you're doing it properly. Maybe you want to do it from T to S. Remember, it is rise over run. Change in Y divided by change in X. Draw your triangles if you need to. And you should be showing 2. So you should have something over something is equal to something over something. Looking for still pencils. You can leave these as fraction forms. No need to do anything with them, right? Did you already do something with them? All right, are we okay on number 4? Anybody need another minute? Excellent. So let's flip over to number 5. Line L is shown. Right triangles A, B, C, and D, E, F are drawn to measure the slope of the line. Compute the parts before. So find the run, rise, and slope given by triangle A, B, C. All right. So what is the run here from B to C? Write that here. From B to C, that goes here. B to C, what's the run? This is a 6, so this is it's only moving how many units? This is your run. How many units is it going? Rise is your next thing. How many units is it going up? Take a minute, make sure you know that you're putting your rise here. What do the run and the rise have to do with the slope? What do the run and the rise have to do with the slope, Mason? Rise over run is the slope. So right in your calculator, you can do what you had for here, divided by here if you'd like, or you can leave it unsimplified as far as I care. Now we're going to do the same thing. Your run here for the big triangle, DEF, is right here. So EF is your run. So write your run here. Looks like I'm drawing alligators or something. And then your rise is FD. So you had your run of EF, your rise of FD, and then your rise divided by your run is your slope. So now you're saying, oh, sorry. Anybody need a minute? Now for part C, are the two slopes you figured out, are these two things, are they similar or are they equal? Why or why not? So if you did this divided by this for both of these, did you get the same answer? Hopefully you did. And then why? That's a horrible question. Are you answering my question or do you have a question? All right, what's your question? It means the sides are congruency has to do with their being similar. So I think that's why I said I don't like this question. But typically, if they have congruent sides and congruent angles, they're similar. But congruency as far as the triangles go makes me think that they're exactly the same and not similar. You know what I mean? So I think if you wanted to be most correct, you would just go with your very first gut instinct as the word that you did know, that they are similar triangles. I think that was a really not nice question. Not nice answers to the question, because we talk about congruency and similar triangles in the same sentence. So that seems kind of tricky to me. As long as you said one of the two, I'm not worried about it. All right. Page 4. Are you okay there? All right. So we just have two. Oh, yes. 2 more questions. One has 2 parts. Number 6. Are you guys doing okay? Anybody need a minute? Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. We got this. All right, the graph of line C, here's line C, is shown. Use the similar slope triangles to compare the slopes of segment QS and segment SU. Okay. So maybe figure them out. What is your rise divided by your run? The slope should be both equal to the same thing, right? So we're looking, I think these three say that they're equal. So we've definitely eliminated one option for you. You need to remember that down is negative. You need to remember it is your rise, so your change in y over your run. So that should at least eliminate two more. You should be left with one. This is really super hard. Get out of town. Okay, remember, don't make this too difficult. Just remember that when we go down in our rise, it's negative. So that eliminates one other thing. And then it is your rise divided by your run. So your change in y divided by your x. So which one of these would be your change in y divided by your x? You didn't know before. I hope you do know now which one of those three would be most correct. Any questions on number 6? Anybody need another minute? We're okay? All right. 7 has 2 parts. The total cost of gas varies directly with the volume of gas. So remember, this means it starts at 0, 0, and it goes up at a constant rate. So we can take y divided by x to find out what? What letter? M. So if we're writing a direct variation equation, it's going to be in the form y equals mx, but we have to write it as y equals whatever this m is times x. So figure it out. This would be the cost. This would be the volume, I'm guessing in gallons. So x, y, figure out m, put it into your equation. Does anybody need a minute to figure out what M is and put it into that equation? We're okay? Okay, so part B is simply asking to identify the constant of variation. So what did you get for M and what does it mean? Which one of these is your M? Does it mean that gas costs that per gallon? Or does it mean that that many gallons cost that much money? Or cost $1? I don't know. However it's written there. So which one has your M correctly in it? And what does your M mean? Make sure your name is on that. Make sure your name is on your review. And please turn both of those things in.